Newt's is Apple Valley's premier ice cold beer, fresh popcorn, and delicious burger bar. You should go there because they have a very friendly and kind of fun staff. And classic rock will be playing on the overhead speakers. Sports will be on the TVs, and they have pull tabs. So I can't think of another reason why you wouldn't want to go to Newt's. So get there. And when you go there, tell them the Ascertainers sent you. Let's think the Wayne's World, right?
It's so underrated.
You think?
No one knows it anymore.
Oh, that's sad. You know, the Big Al, he's a big VHS guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a giant VHS collection. So we watched...
Really?
A couple summers ago, we had a family little get-together up north, and we watched So I Married an Axe Murderer on VHS. Somehow, because it was on like a legit TV, so the quality wasn't great, but it still played.
Yeah, it played.
And it's not a movie where you're...
No, you don't need that quality.
You need to see Phil Hartman as a prison guard in high def.
He's
but that's a.
Did it have the stretch tape and then it kind of squiggly lines go across while you're watching it?
Not that one, but I don't know if that's.
I love physical media, but I believe if you're a digital pirate, the future is physical digital. So I have tons of hard drives with music and movies and all this that are physical, but the files themselves are digital. Because if you rent something on Amazon, if they lose the license, you paid $20 and they go up. Sorry.
No. You're absolutely right. And like we had our wedding video was on VHS, and we luckily brought it over to DVD, which is digital, physical, yes.
Yep.
Good luck finding something to play it on.
These days.
Anyway, yeah, like any cassettes and shit like that is, but those things physically degrade. This is, Mark, what is this?
Hot mess.
Yeah. What do we call it?
We call it the Ascertainers.
The what? Okay. Yes, this is the Ascertainers. Mark is a man of few words, and we like that, or he likes that. I wish he talked more. But we have a special guest who you've heard the voice of. The Ascertainers, again, is a Minnesota-based podcast. Talk about kind of a lot of music. You don't have to lean over to do that. I mean, we all get it.
No, I know, but it's just, it picks up in the audio.
I think you should explain what he was doing.
Yeah, okay, so you want to hear? Here you go.
No. So anyway, this is the Ascertainers, and we're joined by a special guest, and this guest is very unique to me. He's my friend, Francois. They call him Swa, or I call him Swa. I think we'll call you whatever you want to be called. But he's really originally a friend of my youngest son, Alex, who crafted our theme music with really him. And then, so Alex wrote it.
I haven't heard that. I need to hear that.
Well, you could listen to the podcast in preparation.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I appreciate it very much. He's only been on about 140.
Yeah, that's a great point. I don't know. I should have done that. Okay, continue.
Don't worry about it. You're gonna fall in love with it. We'll get you.
Yeah.
But right. So Alex wrote it, and then he sent us the version that he did kind of in his own little studio, and then he and Paul. You know Paul.
Paulie, of course.
They teamed up and did it together, so they had a little more live. There wasn't like I think the drums was probably the big thing. Yeah. You could tell the difference between whatever computer drums and real drums.
Absolutely,
it's a lot warmer.
Absolutely.
We're really happy about that. But anyway, Swa is a would you say you're a videographer? Is that kind of your?
I'd say multimedia.
He's a multimedia guy. I met Swa at several of Alex's shows and was very complimentary of his work because it's very good. And then we just kind of talked, every time we see each other, it was like, hey, we should hang out. So it's weird. I don't hang out with any of Alex's friends, but you're like my whatever.
Well, I just think that it's the difference. I'm a little bit older than him, and then just we would just head off.
I think we get each other.
Yes.
Maybe that's the unifier or whatever. But anyway, Swa, say hello. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, hi. I'm Francois, Swa Media Productions on YouTube and Instagram. Basically got my start doing videography with local bands, still do a little bit here and there, but yeah, multimedia is the game, but there's a lot of facets to that. But yeah, that's how a lot of people know me. And to bring it up, with your youngest son, there was a video from 2018 of Hey Ya on this Instagram page called like Random Moments in Music or something.
Yeah.
And it got 100+ views. Like this Instagram, it's a big page and they show stuff from usually big bands. And they said, hey, did you know the song Hey Ya by Outkast was influenced by punk bands? And so this Minnesota punk band played it as a punk song. And it came out of nowhere. No one knows anything about it. And it was crazy. So it's just crazy to see.
So it was my kid's punk band,
Yep.
or a band punk band my kid is in. And Swa was the guy who captured it.
Yeah.
And what always impressed me about our friend Swa here, by the way, it's Francois. I'd go by Francois exclusively if my name was Francois. My name is Jim. It doesn't quite carry the same kind of Swa that yours does. But anyhow, I always thought that you really captured the energy of a house show. That used to be a thing. House shows. Is that still a thing?
Yeah, it'll always be a thing.
Okay.
Crazy. I'll tell you this craziest thing. The Pierre Show. Do you remember the Pierre Show when they've played again for the first time after a couple of years in like 2021, 2022? It was at like a brewery.
Yeah,
you remember that?
10-year anniversary show.
Yes. So a kid came up to me and said, oh my God, are you Swa Media? And I said, yeah. And he said, I started my house venue because of you. Yeah, he was like, I saw the videos and I was like, this is doable. I could do this.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm love to hear it. And that's awesome. Apparently I heard that the venue like fell apart because of just some very stupid things. Sad to hear. But yeah, I've had a couple of moments like that where people, or Heart to Gold.
Mm-hmm.
Heart to Gold, Grant told me that the original version of one of his favorite songs, I recorded. And when they recorded it on the album, the producer made him change the lyrics. So the only way to hear the original is to go see that video.
Wow.
So when it comes to this moment in time in Minnesota pop punk and being sort of like a historian, it's not so much that I take it seriously. I'm glad that it exists there as an archive.
Yeah, but you get right in there, and that to me has always been. It's like working in the back of the butcher shop recording a show. You're going to get little fluids on you.
You can't be afraid.
Yeah.
Can't be afraid, and got to keep you got to keep your merchandise insured.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Well, welcome to the pod. We're glad to have you. And Mark, I've always said to Mark that I look up to you because of how adventurous you are.
I've never heard that before in my life.
But
Mark, I said it to myself.
But if he was in a plane and you would have to literally look up to the guy.
I'll tell you right now, if I was in a plane and I heard that voice coming over the speaker, I would ask for a parachute now. Because I know he's wearing his and he's just ready to jump out. I showed him and those other souls.
Oh, when I was making the announcement, if we were doing the podcast at that time, people would be going, that's the guy from TheAscertainers.
He knows Swa. Well, my man over here, Swa, also, we could talk about being French because Mark is half some kind of French and a little American.
The
Indian.
bottom half.
Yeah, well, I could tell he's all because I don't know. Well, you never heard an episode. Mark's claim to his mutation is that he feels that he's the American Indian is from the waist up and the French is on the waist down. Why don't you explain that, Mark?
How hairy are you down there?
From the waist down, very.
There it is. That's what he meant. I got it. Yeah, I got it.
But up totally short.
Yeah.
Top. No.
Now hold on.
No grass on the infield.
Now did you call it the mutation or did he call it the mutation?
I think that just kind of came through organically.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that far off.
No, it's not.
My superhuman superpower. That's the word I was looking for. My superpower is Mark, because I'm never wrong. I could take whatever he said bad about me and turn it into really. I'm a gaslighter, I guess.
You are, yeah.
And
we got to get you in politics.
And I feel good about it in this case.
See, yeah, we really got
it's only with Mark though, so I'm exclusive. My man Swa is we're going to get towards the music podcast. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. Might even be a 2-episode night, but I want to know, first of all, how many albums You said you listen to 5 albums a week.
Well, okay, so
I want to hear your process
Yeah.
for listening to an album. I'll just
well, so we can get to that. So for me, I'm a part of a, and your listeners might not know, but Discord, I'm a part of, basically I get this long list of like 20 or 30 new albums per week. And it will go, here's the artist, here's the styles that it is. And then one person who sent it in will like do a little write up. And so for me, I think that when it comes to appreciating art, this whole idea that like it's dead or it's not doing well, that has to do with the big platforms.
Mhm.
That has to do with the people who are making, Minions 5, right? But when it comes to indie movies, indie video games, indie music, all indie art forms in 2026 are doing ungodly well.
Hmm.
So for me,
doing well exposure wise, or are they making money?
both there was a movie called Obsession.
Okay.
That's an indie horror movie that was made in 20 days on $750,000 that made $450 million.
Okay.
And that beat out the Blair Witch Project for lowest budget, highest gross.
Wow.
That just happened this month.
Obsession.
Last month.
Where
Yeah,
could I
Obsession.
see it? Could I see it somewhere?
It's still in the theaters. Yeah. It was supposed to be in the theaters for a week and then go to the digital.
Wow.
You can still go see it. But so that's to my greater point is that right now it's a beautiful, the worse the times are in the world, the better the art is, because art is a reflection. So for me, I like to stay constant, know what's new, and then I kind of will rank it at the end of the year, just to know, what's on the cutting edge. I like the cutting edge, but then
So your year has about 250 albums in it.
I'll listen to like 200 plus albums in a year, and I like to break it down to 60 top albums. And so the last month of
I don't think I've listened to 60 albums. Just fun fact.
Yeah.
If you're doing that, that's your top echelon.
Well, I don't try to, when I listen to music, to your question about processing an album, I don't try to relate to it. I try to put it under a critique of creating something. So
you sit there, you put headphones on, are you like making dinner and listening?
So I think there's two best.
Are you
there's three ways.
invested?
There's three best ways to listen to an album.
Okay.
Now, if you're going for best sound quality, I like to sit down. I use AirPlay, so it's not Bluetooth. I use AirPlay with my nice system, or pretty good. They're AirPod Pros, but pretty good listening to it at the gym, because then you can really lock in. Or the third one would be driving. I think if you have a new piece of music that you want to hear and appreciate, those are the best 3 ways to listen to it. And so when I'm listening, I'm kind of putting an objective, critical lens on it. What are you saying? What are you trying to say? How is it composed? How many different changes are there? You can get a lot done in 6 minutes in a song to make it seem like a whole orchestra is happening, especially with modern technology. I mean, I love to use this as my example, is A Day in the Life by the Beatles. That is the original, complete, one take, multiple changes. If you listen to the actual recording, the last seconds, the piano notes held. If you listen really closely in your left ear, you can hear someone cough. So like art, and especially music, it's the creation of a story and a narrative, be it with lyrics or not. And so when I'm listening to those things, those changes, those dynamics. How many times can you change and be dynamic to maximize, immersing you into the album? So I'll say my favorite album of last year was an album called Lux by Rosalia. It is a Christian, like orchestral, industrial pop album that's based around multiple different, like female saints. So that's my favorite album of the year. But then I also, this year, one of my top 5s from this year is a Norwegian black metal album.
Like I say, my boy's got range.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, you have to, or I just bought a Coulter Wall country album. He's Canadian. He's a young guy with the deepest voice. You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. This song, Corralling the Blues, it's the saddest song I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And it's just this 26-year-old who's an actual rancher who actually lives it,
If I ever played you Coulter Wall, his voice sounds like it's the record's not spinning fast enough.
It's a great way to put it.
He has scalding hot coffee in his larynx as he taught. He's been around. So I thought it was like a novelty. It's like, okay, this is going to be like John Anderson Okay, who I think just had a couple of hits back in the 80s, but and come at me, John Anderson fans. I'm sure we have a ton of them, but no, he is developing, and I like old country, but that's a whole different conversation. So your process is that you really interpret music. I'm like, did it make my wiener move a little,
and I appreciate
that's why I like Journey. And that's why I like,
and I appreciate that subjective look at it.
Right.
Where it's through your own lens. But I guess for me, so Matt Damon was talking about how Netflix has put a lot of money into researching when people are watching a movie and when not. So they create movies for Netflix now where it's like, okay, 3/4 into the movie, people are doing their laundry. They forgot to watch it. Let's remind people of the story.
Right there.
A couple episodes ago, it's like Spielberg should just 12 minutes in make a 10-minute, like where there's really nothing important to the plot, because that's when I take my nap. And then and after the 12 minutes, they blow up a car or something, and I'll wake up and then just get right back into the plot.
I'm serious that's literally how these modern executives look.
See, I told you
he's
I was
right.
Smart.
He's right. That's literally how they look at it.
My blood sugar regulation should be marketed.
So, yeah.
Because I think it's after I eat.
Like, so for me, and I do believe that any art form or any art piece, you have to give it at least a few watches, listens, experiences till you can fully, let it marinate.
If you listen to a piece of crap, you'll go, you know what? I'm going to listen to it again. You might be less crappy or no. And I'm being very...
Yes, I know exactly what you're saying. If it's an on the fence thing, that's happened to me tons of times.
I got you. So if it's
my favorite band, what the fuck happened? I'm going to give it some time. But if you're right away like, this sucks.
Just hot garbage.
Yeah, let it go. But I'm also the type, I'll be honest, I saw that new Steven Spielberg movie, Disclosure Day. It was hot garbage. It looked great and everything, but you could clearly tell that like the person who was making this didn't understand the time they were making it in. But I still wanted to see it to experience it. Like again, if you want to be on the cutting edge of art, you've got to take in the crap too. Like, I hate to say this, Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso, that song is a masterpiece.
For real. I'm going to make that my song.
Trent Reznor, the lead singer of Nine Inch Nails, said that he would listen to that song and weep, because it was so good.
About Day in the Life, by the way, I think maybe is there someone that doesn't like Day in the Life? Can you imagine a person that listened to that song and said, not for me.
I have to say this. I have a very close friend who does not like the Beatles. And every time I get like drunk enough, I bring it back up and I'm just like, you can't not like the Beatles. You can't not like them.
Well,
there's like you haven't heard enough of their songs. There's one song. There is at least one Beatles song that will hit you so hard in the heart that you'll become a fan.
I don't like early Beatles.
But Love Me Do.
Yes.
So like 8 days a week? You don't like 8 days a week?
I don't.
Wow. Okay.
The shit they played in whatever the New York Stadium, not Yankee Stadium, wherever the Jets played, or wherever the fuck it was.
What was the year?
It's when they first came to America.
Yeah.
So those songs, I would say to your buddy, sorry, Mark.
Was that the Meadowlands?
Meadowlands, thank you. Yes. That, like, it was like, oh, it's very pedestrian, if you will. But you get into the later Beatles, so I would tell your buddy, I would say, I don't like the Beatles. Say, what? How much Beatles have you listened to?
That's exactly right.
That's like people.
But no, I have to say this:
if people
early Beatles is not pedestrian. You are looking at it through a historically contextless lens. To the people who heard it, do you remember Beatlemania?
No.
To the people who heard it, that was fucking Jesus.
I got you.
I was 20 years old at that time, and I did not like it.
All right, good point.
No. Mark's a year and a half older than you.
Yeah. No, because I'm going to take umbrage with this, because everyone says this. Early Beatles.
So give me a sec. What I'm saying, remember, I'm the guy, if it makes my thing move or whatever, I get how groundbreaking it was. I get, to them, that was Van Halen playing You Really Got Me versus the Kinks playing You Really Got Me. It's all about perspective and perception and all that. I just think that Sgt. Pepper's is better than Meet the Beatles.
And that's funny. I think Sgt. Pepper's is actually completely overrated and very so. Frank,
I just threw that out because I'm not a huge Beatles fan, but I do like A Day in the Life.
Yeah, and I love it. I think it's their best song, and I think it's the most honest song on the album. So I do think that on that album, A Day in the Life is very true. But I actually love early Beatles.
What album was Day in the Life on?
It was on Sgt. Pepper.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. That's how huge,
Yeah,
huge of a
exactly.
Beatles fan I am.
But it's just everything. Like, I'm not a big Metallica fan. I love metal music. I grew up and I listened to Metallica, but I do not listen to them actively. I would not go pay to see them, but I respect what they did for music.
Mm-hmm.
So
what's the best Metallica song? Real quick, I'll just tell you right now. It's One. End of story. Anyway, you know what song I'm talking about?
Of course. I remember being in 7th grade. I'd already listened to Metallica, but didn't listen to One. And my English teacher played us the music video, which is probably the best piece of art that Metallica's made.
Oh my God.
One music
Times
video.
have changed, man.
Did you ever watch the original movie?
Yeah. No, of course I have. I have.
What's the movie?
I don't know the name of the movie.
But it's about the Iron Lung, yeah.
Yeah, or the guy in war.
The guy with he had like a big paper mache thing on his head.
He lost all his arms.
Yeah, they put
he
him in the Iron
lost
Lung.
his voice, his eyesight, his hearing. So he was just a slab of meat laying there. And he's trying to communicate with everybody. And during the whole movie, he's just blinking his eyes in SOS saying, "Kill me, kill me."
Do you think that
depressing movie?
So you know the video, yes,
Yes.
that we're talking about? That seems, based on what you just said,
No,
it's a pretty accurate depiction of the
video uses clips from the movie.
But the whole SOS with the eyes, my God, there is literally a lick during that. Well, there's a guitar lick during that song that I think is my favorite all-time guitar lick.
Is it the
It's got a little stank on it.
Yeah, it's got a little stank.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's got
By the way, come at me, Metallica lawyers. Dick-a-dink. Dick-a-dink.
You're gonna hate to hear this. I'm a Megadeth over Metallica guy.
Well, I don't know a ton about Megadeth other than when Garth said, "Got any Megadeth?"
Yeah.
One of my top. See, there's my. I don't want to appear to be a snob, but Wayne's World 2, when he said, "Got any Megadeth?"
Which one's better, Wayne's World 1 or 2?
Yes, one. It's one. It's one. But
no, it is one. It is one. My favorite thing about Bohemian Rhapsody as a thing is to ask people, where did they hear it? Some people say I'm a Queen fan. Some people say I heard it on a DoorDash ad. Some people still say, for me, Bohemian Rhapsody is that scene from Wayne's World. My parents showed it to me, and that's Bohemian Rhapsody.
And the best part about that is it goes.
So when that song came out in high school, either people love that song or they hated it.
Really? No, but I just want to know, because this is actually a really interesting historical. How did the people, when it came out, how did people react? I really want to know that.
I thought it was
well received.
But he said some people didn't like it.
They did not like it. They said that's not rock and roll. That is just like an opera.
Well, it did. It was
musically.
Not formulaic. It was, and that's what. If you saw you call it biopic. This is to give you the guy. Is it a biopic or a biopic?
Biopic.
Fuck, really?
Yeah.
Doggone it. Sorry, neighborhood kid. I've been trying not to swear a lot, but I've been swearing a little on this one. But the scene with Mike Myers when they're trying to sell the idea of Bohemian Rhapsody
I'll be honest, they owe Mike Myers a little bit for like keeping the legend of the song alive. So yeah, that's a great scene.
Oh, that is. I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
Something I just learned that Eric Clapton was the lead guitarist on My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Not George Harrison?
George Harrison brought him in on the White Album because they were so at odds, and he thought, so he brought Eric Clapton in to play so he could get it on the album.
That's crazy.
That checks out. I mean, I know you would. You're no Johnny Come Lately. David Letterman show came out in 1981 or 2. Okay, so it was still a thing when we were in college. I graduated in 86. So whatever. My friend Bruce, who you met probably at a wedding and a funeral. No, just a funeral. But anyway, my college group, I have a few Bruces in my life. This is Bruce S. We would stay up, and he was probably studying, and I was probably just drinking beer. But we would watch Letterman, and Letterman would have on the going into a commercial, dun 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 dun, and we're like, we both look at each other, and we're like, what is that song? Now, this is 1980. Let's call it 5. You didn't have Shazam. You didn't have any. we just had to ask around. And then finally someone was like, oh, that's Cream White Room. Duh. So that's how you would do it back then. I think kids today are cheated by the inability or the lack of necessity. Wow, did you put a new cartridge in there? Man, it looks like you're making a butt roast over here.
That's right. But hold on. You're making a very, very important point.
Yes. Oh, Mark, pay attention.
Yes.
This guy's a genius.
This guy, Patton Oswalt.
I know
Patton Oswalt.
I know him.
Who might have killed his wife. I'm not saying that, but
whoa!
That's
come on!
That's a story for another.
Oh
thing.
my gosh!
Patton Oswalt
it makes sense now.
In 2012 wrote an op-ed called "Wake Up, Nerd Culture! It's Time to Die," and what it was about was
his wife's name Nerd Culture? I'm just checking. I mean, I'm no detective. I think we can close this file.
But you used to, even when I was young, you used to have to go to the Barnes and Noble. If you cared about something and you wanted to be a quote unquote
expert
nerd, you had to get involved. Nowadays, you can just read a Wikipedia page or Shazam it and be like, oh, I'm a big fan. And you know what I mean?
I totally
exactly. So that idea of fandom died, and I totally agree with you. It was the search. It was the, I have this brain worm and I can't figure it out, and not being able to figure it out. And the reward once you did, it became this little myth to you. You know what I mean? And the modern people don't have that. Yeah.
Back in the day before MTV, you would get an album and the liner notes were vital.
Oh, go
the cover, the artwork, the cover.
Oh my God, this is such a great point. Please tell me more. This is such a great point.
Here's one thing. My first exposure to Rush was 2112.
How?
My brother bought it, and we were down.
Bought what? The vinyl?
He bought the vinyl, and we're down in Cincinnati, Ohio. My grandma's house. Seems irrelevant, but
yeah. How old were you? How old was he?
76. So I was 12.
Okay. I thought you were 76.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I was. I'm like Benjamin Buttons. I'm over here. But anyway, he starts in my grandma's house. Of all places, they had. I don't know how they did it, but they piped. I think my dad then adopted the same philosophy. They had a record player upstairs, but you could play music and it would play down where we would play pool in this damp basement. You know what I mean? Like this old house, kind of a cool deal.
Yeah.
But
and you don't know if that was mold or if that was a part of the wall painting.
Also, they had one of these sticks about that long because about every shot required it. Oh, if you're on that side. So there was one summer we went down there, probably stay for a week, whatever, and it was Leftoverture and 2112. I think they must have come out the same year or around. But I'm like, I heard 2112, and I was literally kind of just like my brain exploded. And then I'm like, let me see an album. Front, nothing. The back, 3 guys. I had no fucking clue who was doing what. Can you imagine? I'm looking at that. I thought Neil Peart was the singer. I thought, because he was in the middle. And I'm like, oh, because the other 2 guys must be the drummer and the guitar players. I'm sorry. So I was looking at me like, I think I get you.
No.
But kids today are depressed. So everything was in my mind. Everything was just in my imagination.
Healthier. No, I'm right there with you because so the vinyl notes, the art, the extra art they put in. A vinyl used to be like a mission statement.
I want to do songs of the week and button this one up. I'm going with Dire Straits. So one of my Bruce S., who was brought up this episode before from the David Letterman viewings, was as hard of a Dire Straits fan as I was a Rush fan. And if you know many Dire Straits fans and Rush fans, that's a pretty big gulf between the two. Gulf. Gulph. Gulf. So anyway, a bridge too far, some would say. But this bridge didn't even reach. So anyhow, that was our little war. And he also Rolling Stones Wild Horses. We played it all the time. And I was like, this is garbage. And now I'm like, it might be the prettiest song I've ever heard. Sorry, Bruce. So I have apologized. I've made amends. So I read a Facebook comment this week, and don't ask me what the whole thing was. It was a guy. It was a guy who committed a crime, and he said that he thought he was the second coming. And in the comments, because that's kind of the best part of a social media, somebody said, two men say they're Jesus. One of them must be wrong. And I read that, and the first thing that popped in my head was Industrial Disease by Dire Straits. And then it made me go listen to the song. And I am like, holy cannoli, is this a masterpiece of songwriting, lyric writing? The song itself it kind of sounds like it's got like a carnival feel to it, kind of a poppy little, it seems like really if Bob Dylan did Ecstasy is really what it would kind of come out as. But give it a listen. It'll be in the show notes. Just click the link. But I would actually, I think it'd be fun. And there's videos like this where allegedly it's a person hearing a old song for the first time, someone that knows about music, and they hear, it's mostly Rush stuff that I listen to, which is more believable because nobody, anyway. But it'd be fun to take like a kid from the neighborhood, a elementary school kid, and say, Sultans of Swing, give it a listen. What do you think? I wonder if they'd be like, you know what I mean?
My parents introduced me to Elvis, and I became an Elvis fan. But
do you remember the talk? Did they literally introduce you, or did it was just on? They introduced it to me. I'm like, was it like the watch scene in Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, yeah.
Elvis played his Hawaii special.
Oh, was that on national TV?
Yes, and my dad fired up the color TV. We had a color TV, but we couldn't watch it unless it was something special.
Yeah. Well, my mom took me to the theater to see Hard Day's Night. Hard Day's Night is literally the blueprint for every music video. The original music video is A Hard Day's Night by the Beatles. 100%.
I've seen parts of it.
And it's beautiful. There's some like there's this shot where they use the helicopter where they're like on a field just kind of fucking around, and it's like burned in my brain because I was just like, wow, they shot this in like what, 58? It's just
helicopter. I've seen your drone footage of my kid's band of poppy fields.
That's right. That's
Is that
right.
wild? Okay.
That was the premise for the Monkees' Hard Day's Night.
Yeah, I gotta say. Yeah. My problem is everyone forgets about the Boys and the Monkees because of the Beatles. I would say that Pet Sounds as an album is better than anything the Beatles have ever made.
I've said that on this podcast.
Pet Sounds, God Only Knows might be the best song ever written. I'm sorry.
Thank you. You just said a Day in the Life was, so.
No, hold on.
Check the tape.
A Day in the Life.
A Day in the Life is so much better than any Beach Boys song.
No, A Day in the Life is better than any Beach Boys song because of its intricacies and its layers and its ability to tell two different types of stories. I 100% agree. But God Only Knows is literally like you could play that for a person who is going through a hard time and it will heal them.
Okay, well.
Hold on, wait. Okay, A Day in the Life is just masturbation.
All right, Ann Sullivan. Just like I said, I just want to see if it makes my thing move. And it did.
It did.
God Only Knows was like a...
it's putting your thing away because it's trying to make you it's making you do the right choice.
Think of an elephant eating a peanut. That's what my thing was doing, okay? It was not good. Okay, let's do your song of the week.
Sure. I just got to say, Pet Sounds... Like we were talking about earlier, there's old Beatles that you'd be like, what the hell is happening here? I can't listen to it. But like Pet Sounds you could listen to Pet Sounds right now. And if you told me it came out this year, I'd be like, sure.
Have you seen the documentary, The Wrecking Crew?
No, what's it about?
It was about the people that played the music on every song on Pet Sounds.
No, I've
a bunch of LA studio musicians that played the Partridge Family, the Monkees. They were the Mamas and the Papas. They played on every hit that you knew. Guitarists, bass players, horn players, string players, keyboardists that a diva band would say, hey, we got a hit here. Beach Boys were a great example.
And you record it for us and we'll do the vocals, right?
No.
They
were the best.
You're trying to tell me that they were all studio musicians because that's what a studio musician is.
When a label needs backing music, they go to the Wrecking Crew because they can do it in one take or two. Another good documentary called Muscle Shoals, but that was more of a swamp rock. Rolling Stones recorded there and stuff. Leonard Skinner says in Muscle Shoals, they got the Swampers. The Swampers was the southern version of the Wrecking Crew, which was the LA version of the Swappers. And I think you would, as a music student of music, you would like it.
I've heard of now that you gave me the full thing, I have heard of the Wrecking Crew. I have. Now, I did just order the 50th anniversary of Pet Sounds.
Attaboy. Attaboy. We got a cut about that too.
Yeah, right.
Ascertainers
I do have to say this. Amazon is very good for vinyl buying.
Is it?
Price-wise?
Oh, can you get like used and
No, new, good prices, and they'll send it fast, and they'll send it in multiple packaging so it doesn't get damaged.
No shit.
Hate to admit it. My all-time favorite
genre
concept album is Joe's Garage by Frank Zappa. I have it on vinyl. It's 3 back-to-back vinyls. It's going to take you 90 minutes to listen to. It's going to take you 90 minutes to listen to. It has some of the best riffs you've ever heard in your life. Because that's the thing. He wasn't like Van Halen or like Jimmy, who was just like destroying the guitar. It was these riffs. Some of these riffs that are in that album are heavier than like some of my favorite metal riffs.
I just remember it was a, I didn't really appreciate how tight and how kind of, I don't know, it was probably my first exposure to jazz, really, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, even though it was a rock album, maybe he doesn't really pigeonhole himself, but it was also funny.
Yes.
I thought Frank's singing, he kind of sang, spoke, and some of the stuff was, I know was meant to like affect. It was kind of meant to be like either satirical or somehow, but was Chic Your Booty on that one?
Chic Your Booty.
Yeah.
Do you want to know something? Okay, so real quick. The parental advisory sticker was Frank Zappa's idea. Chic Your Booty, which was the album that had Bobby Brown. Do you remember, hey there, people, I'm Bobby Brown. They say I'm the coolest guy in town. That song was so explicit because it basically was the story of like a Christian white male who like worked his way by raping and like pillaging into the corporate world, and then he like fell in love with a lesbian who like pegged him. It's an insane story. I'm serious.
Mark's in.
Yeah.
You had him at
They brought him to the stand. The U.S. government was like, what the fuck? And he went, listen, man, you're all about free speech. Put a little advisory. Tell people, hey, this is bad, but let people choose. And
I did not. I thought that was Kipper Gore.
No. And they all went,
wow.
They all went, oh, this actually makes sense. Yeah. So the parental advisory sticker, the black and white parental advisory sticker is literally because of Frank Zappa, because he pushed the envelope. But back to my point, yeah, I'd say both Frank Zappa, David Bowie, and Trent Reznor would be my like singular voices of music, you know? Like the Beatles, everyone has their favorite Beatle. Mm-hmm. So like when it comes to a singular voice in music,
it's clearly Ringo.
But yeah. So,
at one point, he had the most number one hit.
I know, yeah, it's crazy. If George Harrison hadn't died, he would. If George Harrison hadn't died, he'd be remembered as the best Beatle. Absolutely.
Hold on, that doesn't make any sense.
No, what I'm saying, if he didn't die, the amount, like his solo stuff was so good, dude. George Harrison's solo stuff is very good.
That makes more sense. So
you're saying the Beatles' favorite Beatle is George.
Yes. Side note, is Band on the Run the second best song that Paul McCartney has been involved with? They're talking about Wings?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Because it's a 2-part song. It's just like A Day in Their Life in that capacity.
Yeah, I'll give you top 5.
Okay, cool.
I'd agree with top 5.
We got to get your song of the week here eventually, right?
So my song of the week, 2026, I think that my favorite song of the week, or my favorite song this year so far, in the year's only half done, it's June, but my song of the week is from a band called My New Band Believe. The lead writer of this band is called Cameron Pinkerton. He's from a band called, he was the bassist and one of the secondary singers of a band called Black Midi. They come from the British scene of this sort of modern musical school British. There's some bands like Jockstrap, Black Country, New Roads. Like it's this new age of storytelling, sort of like it's a new age of Talking Heads style bands. So Cameron's album, I think it's the best album of the year. It's called My New Band Believe. It's like a flamenco folk guitar style album. And so the song is called Love Song. Funnily enough, his original band Black Midi covered Taylor Swift's song Love Song. It's a very funny cover of the Taylor Swift song Love Song that pretty much everyone knows, you know. But this song, Love Song, by my new band Believe, I think is the most grounded, and if you've actually ever been in actual love, this song speaks to that.
In a good way?
In the most realistic way.
Okay.
The realisticness of being in love, where it's an everyday thing. They live in the back of your mind, just cooking with them, just spending, a line in the song is spending a lonely minute with you, spending just 60 seconds with the person that you know matters the most to you and you matter the most to them. That there is that there is something so unique to that, and this song speaks to that.
So okay, so when you're saying, because I've heard the song, really to me the song is a descriptor of love. It illustrates love. It's not like an REO song about you've just been broken up with,
or even Journey. It's not. Let's not fantasize love. Like let's talk about what it is. The everyday.
The lyrics, if you read them, would be somewhat mundane.
But
it's.
But isn't that what love is?
Yeah.
Isn't love finding the beauty in the mundane?
I don't think Chris is listening.
No.
It's mundane isn't strong enough. I'm kidding. I love you, baby. All right. It's called Love Song, and it's by my new band
Believe.
That's a cool name for a band.
It is,
because that's exactly how the guy tells his friends. Hey, my new band Believe is playing down at the Roxy tonight.
Yeah.
So
the band's name is Believe.
No, the band's yeah.
Oh shit!
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He goes, my new band. Sorry,
No.
you didn't find that funny?
No, I like it.
It's too literal.
No, it's good.
Did I just blow your mind?
I like it.
Mark, JJ Cal, or Tom Celery? Who do you got tonight?
That's pretty funny.
I try.
I am going with the Mamas and the Papas. They were a folk band that was transitioning to pop, and it was Denny Doherty, Cass Elliot, Mama Cass, John Phillips, and Michelle Phillips, and they were singing Creeque Alley.
Creeque Alley.
And it's spelled
Cheers.
Creeque. Nice song that tells how they became a folk quartet, and transitioned to pop.
Is this the song you played for us?
It is.
Yeah.
Is there more to the song?
There is.
Okay, just making sure. I thought you were talking about a completely different song, because what I got from the song was not that. I got the shaming part.
Well, there is some shaming of Mama Cass. They were making fun of her weight, but they were talking about other people that influenced them and the California scene.
But then, isn't there some truth? Hold on, and I hear you. It is about. It's an autobiographical song, right?
Yes, thank you.
So then them saying the only one getting fat is her, and literally one of the things that them and their management group was documented being worried about was how fat she was for videos and the Don Sullivan show, all this.
Could another interpretation of that be the only one getting paid? Like, was she paid more than the other members?
At the end,
as a fat guy, I like to say I get a beer and a half from Newt's.
When they broke up, she had the greatest solo.
Michelle Phillips?
Did she?
Mama Cass? Yeah, she had actually a TV show. She had like 3 number
That's
top
crazy.
20. So she was the one who made it.
Yeah. Dough fat. Yeah, but
I think Doe had something to do with it. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's crazy. But it makes sense. I've seen a lot of, I really like the Mamas and the Papas, so I've seen a lot of live performances, and she was always the one who, though was kind of afraid of the camera, as it were, she would also do the best in front of it. So, all right, this is a bit much. So there's a 1997 Chinese movie called Chungking Express. And it's 2 different stories. And in one of the stories, it's about a lonely guy and this girl who works at like a restaurant. And like,
oh, can I guess the name of the restaurant?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it Chungking Express? Because they got one of those in Apple Valley.
No, the Chungking Express was like an actual like train. But so she kind of like they never kind of get together, but like she would go clean his apartment while he wasn't paying attention, and all these things. But consistently, they would play the song in this movie, California Dreaming. And California Dreaming, so in especially Chinese mythology, there's this idea called the travel to the West. Do you know the idea of the Monkey King? You ever seen that in like the Wukong? Yeah, the Monkey King in Chinese stories. So the idea was traveling to the West. So in Chinese mythology, like traveling west was to go towards, more civilization and more things. So the song California Dreaming was used in this movie to express this Chinese ideal of the move to the West. That when the mamas and the papas got big, like before the 60s, LA was not the cultural epicenter. It was New York and Chicago. For most of from 1850 to 1950, for 100 years, New York and Chicago were the American epicenters of culture. But then it shifted, and all of the artists of Chicago and New York moved to LA because LA was built off the backs of old silent movie Hollywood. That's where the money came from. So they built up LA and they built up Hollywood. And so California Dreaming to the Chinese and in this style of movie making was this idea of the movement to the West, that you were moving to better pastures and moving to better places. So for me personally, that's what that song kind of got it adjusted to. But just the mamas and papas, like, again, people get caught up when they talk about 60s music. All they talk about, what? Dylan, Hendrix, Beatles. No one doesn't ever talk about Beach Boys, Monkees, Mamas and the Papas, Zappa, Dead even.
Jefferson Airplane.
No one knows what that is. And I love Jefferson. I was raised on Jefferson Airplane, so I love Jefferson Airplane. But so that's what I'm saying is that a lot of the best music of the 60s and the 70s is kind of forgotten to the name brands. So I love the Mamas and the Papas besides their big hits.
I agree. Anyway, Mark, we should probably bring this train into the station.
Thank you for listening. You can get a hold of us at TheAscertainers@gmail.com or visit our Facebook page. Please.
There's room.
Yeah, come on down.
Like us, share us with a friend. Is that hard?
My take is that the people that listen to us don't have friends, which is why they're listening to us. So couple of you losers just, send us to a stranger. Let's see what happens. Am I not helping? All right. Well, anyway, thanks for listening. And whatever you do, don't not go to Newt's. Go to Newt's. You gotta, because it's good.
And get their version of the
Big Mac.
The Big Mac. That was great.
All right. Well,
thank you for being a guest.
Absolutely.
Tonight.
Yeah. And I think we'll be seeing you again.
Absolutely.
Good night.